From Clearview Regional High School, it's a battle of two programs middling throughout their 2025 season, looking to end the season on a high note, as it's a brisk Wednesday evening, but a decent crowd is showing up for this midweek jamboree between the Pemberton Hornets and the Clearview Pioneers here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Ryan Sieber on the call this evening, and the sun set before I even pulled into the parking lot tonight. It's a good way to know that daylight savings time is here, and the sun's going to start setting at 5 o'clock, and it just makes me think basketball season's right around the corner. But tonight we've got a Wednesday matchup between Pemberton and Clearview. Pemberton, a football team we've never seen before on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. However, they come into this one with the third-year head coach Gerald Davis at a 1-8 record. And Clearview with the first-year head coach Mike Wilson, formerly of Shalleck and the Cape May County resident, at 0-10. Clearview had a crossover game versus Gateway last week. It was Group 5 versus Group 1, but Gateway still took them to the house and won 43-8. But for Clearview, we covered them on the opening night of the season. They had a respectable performance. They got shut out at home to Cumberland, but it wasn't a bludgeoning shutout. It was 26-0. So Clearview comes into this game after having really just a hardship season with Mike Wilson as the head coach. They made a quarterback change midway through the season, and now their quarterback is represented by number 4, Ryan Legamiri, the 5'3" sophomore. But it's going to come down to today to who makes the least amount of mistakes, right?
I agree with you, and I think it also going to come down to who can control the clock more. You know, two kind of low-scoring teams, both, I think, a combined 11 points between the two of them in their last games, respectively. So I think it's just going to come down to who can control the clock more, who can have the ball more, and who can score more.
Yeah, both teams scored 8 points in their last consolation game. Pemberton played Morristown 7 days ago on Wednesday, October 29th. They lost 50-8. Meanwhile, Clearview played Gateway, and they lost that game 43-8. So, yeah, I mean, you're not too far off on that regard, Ryan. And I think that with Clearview, again, they're going through a tough transition year. 0-10 is not the most flattering record, but they're going to try to close out the season on a high note. There's a good amount of folks here tonight checking out the Wednesday football here from Riordan Field, but I'll tell you this, I'm excited for what Clearview has to offer because they are a very young team. A lot of 9s and 10s on that roster, and I think that it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and really who ends up making the least amount of mistakes. And as you mentioned, clock control is a big factor as well. But who do you have favored in this one?
I would say I'm Clearview favored in this one. I mean, like you said, young team, but I think they are better prepared to win this game today.
Yeah, I mean, at Clearview's 0-10, that's never an easy pill to swallow. But I think that a 1-10 record versus an 0-11 record is a lot better of a prospect for this first-year head coach Mike Wilson because guess what? They'll be able to pivot. They'll be able to use this offseason to train their players. This was not far removed from when Steve Scanlon was the head coach here at Clearview and had a 6, maybe 8-win season during their time at Clearview. So the question is just who's going to be able to make less mistakes and who's going to get into the end zone more. We'll take a quick break. We've got the national anthem and much more here from Mullica Hill. It's Wednesday Night Football here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Welcome from Riordan Field here at Clearview Regional High School in Mullica Hill. We've got Wednesday evening football presented to you on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. It's the Pemberton Hornets and the Clearview Pioneers. We're going to get ready to kick this one away. With Clearview looking for their first win in almost 2 seasons. 0-8 last year, 0-10 in 2025. But it could change after these 48 minutes. Here in crossover football. The cheerleaders are ready. The players are ready. At least we think they're ready. Referee waiting for the signal. The back judge backpedaling. Whistles blow. The Hornets lining up to kick this one off in the white uniforms. That's a short kick. It'll be returned at the 20 by Clearview. Kind of barreling through the pile there. And he'll get down at around the 43-yard line. So Clearview will start their drive right around their own 40. Let's take a look at that starting quarterback for Clearview. Oh, hold on here. Sorry. Messed that one up. We did have a basketball game on Tuesday, so that's a technical difficulty. But didn't have that one ready either. All right, so it's Wednesday football for everybody on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Let's fix that real quick, and let's talk about Ryan Legamiri, the quarterback for Clearview. 24 for 83 this season. Came in midway through the season. He's got 1 touchdown and 10 interceptions. Last week versus Gateway went just 3 for 8. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Handoff, right side. Doesn't get too far that time. Gets it right to the line of scrimmage. Carry was by looks like Mason Jones. It'll be a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11, but Clearview mostly keeping the ball on the ground. I should say it's only 1 play, so I guess things could change. But Clearview and Pemberton both have pretty high passing offenses. Pemberton's quarterback, the junior Nehemiah Maines, has passed over 220 times in Pemberton's 9 games this season. 2nd and 11. QB in the shotgun, hands it off, gets a little bit of space, but not enough. He's going to get about 2 yards, and it'll set up 3rd and 9.
For a short game, it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Line to gain is across midfield at the 48. But Clearview, again, they're just going to have to figure out how to get this offense working, because this game could be very well a precursor to next year. You think about next year, divisional alignments will be reset. So you don't really know until about February who you're playing next year. Now, of course, at the end of the 2025 season, Clearview could look at their schedule and say, okay, we're pretty much guaranteed to play this team and this team and this team. But next year, you don't know who you're going to play. Here comes a rush to the left side. It looked like a keeper that time. A late flag comes in, maybe for some kind of illegal tackle that time as the QB goes down. It looked like coming up that time, Robert Siné in there as well. Let's see what the penalty flag's about. Face mask on the defense. That'll be a big break for Clearview on 3rd and 9.
Clearview, first down.
Yeah, and like you said pregame, Dan, I mean, it's going to be the team who makes less mistakes this game. You know, that was what they stopped them pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Would have been coming up 4th and 9, maybe a punt for Clearview and Pemberton ball. But now it's Clearview 3rd and 5. They got a chance to get another first down here and keep possession.
Yeah, that's the thing that some people don't know, is that a defensive face mask is not that big of a penalty in high school football. It's only a 5-yard penalty, and it's not even an automatic first down. So Clearview's still going to have to get out of the rut this time. Call it 4th and 5. This is going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Pemberton with a big tackle right around midfield. Looks like this is going to be a turnover on downs against the Pioneers. And as it appears, it looks like the Hornets will start their first drive of the night. Referees are looking over at the sideline. They had 4th down on the... Now they've brought it back to 4th down. So that is not a turnover on downs. And the referees first of all, Clearview calls a timeout. So they use their first of the half. We'll stay right here. But, yeah, point is that was kind of a weird situation because they now have it re-lined up for 4th down and mid-range because they had it set it's 4th and 5, but I thought that you retained the down after the possession. So what it appears to me is that it looks like they had the wrong down up on the board, or at least up on the chains on the sideline, and that's where that came from. So
I mean, it feels like what they were talking about, too. It's kind of what the holdup was there for. But also, overall, Pemberton's looked good so far on defense. I mean, you know, they're stopping the run, absolutely stuffed it so far. I mean, pretty much the only yards Clearview's gained has been on that face mask penalty. So I think if Pemberton keep this up, their defense is going to look like they're in good shape for this game.
That's at least what it appears like. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if that will hold. But Clearview calling their first timeout. .9:26 to play in the first quarter. Just getting started on Clearview's first drive. Good snap read, and a lot of room for the Pioneers. Getting hit hard, and coming up big time. That it's a keeper for number 15, Robert Sine. It's a first down. Pioneers pick up a new set of downs. Nathaniel Rivera had the tackle that time for the Hornets. Pemberton 1-8 this year. They won their first game of the year in a 16-14 gauntlet versus Hamilton West, but they've lost 8 straight in Group 3 competition. 1st and 10. Send the fullback in motion. This is a keeper by Sine. Running that option offense. He'll get tackled late. Handoff was fake to number 44, Mason Toll. But as it stands, you know, Pemberton and Clearview right now could just be in a standstill. I mean, when Clearview played Gateway last week, Gateway's an over 500 team. They've had actually even though they missed the playoffs, they've had somewhat of a successful season in Andrew Daly, I believe his 3rd season as Clearview, rather as Gateway head coach after leaving Cherry Hill East. Look at what Cherry Hill East has become. I mean, they are gauntlets year in and year out with Tyler D-Rob at the helm. It's 2nd and 9. Closing in on that point, though, Clearview right now, they're just a couple of years removed from having some good seasons and some playoff bids with Steve Scanlon. I don't think that Mike Wilson's tenure here at Clearview will be more of this year. I think this year will just be a stepping stone as that pass is caught. Looked like he kind of got jammed on his own sideline, getting turned around. Pass was caught by number 17, Jake Martell. And number 24, Nathaniel Rivera, ended up coming in with the tackle that time. It looked like his own teammate on the near sideline kind of obstructed his path. So it'll be 3rd and 9. Was able to get neutral gain, but really no different than an incompletion that time for the QB Sine. So we saw 2 quarterbacks warming up, Ryan Ligamiri and Robert Sine, the freshman. But Clearview in this crossover consolation game opting to go with the freshman Sine as opposed to the quarterback, or as opposed to the leading passer on this Pioneers team, Ryan Ligamiri. 3rd and 9. From the 36-yard line, got some space here for Toll. Gets it up to the 20-yard line. That's a big break for the Pioneers. It's a first down. And again, on a very young team, a lot of 9s, a lot of 10s, even a couple of 11s on the program. Clearview's going to have a lot to like about what they're seeing if these guys are developed this quickly, this early. Already looking like they're starting to break through here. But this is what I like to call a group 1 drive. This is a methodical drive, taking off half of the first quarter right away. It'll be interesting to see how it flares out.
Yeah, and like I said pregame, I mean, clock control is going to be important in this game, you know. 2 teams who have not had the most successful season, not really scoring a lot of points. It's just going to come down to who has the ball more.
Sine takes it, gets hit 6 ways from Sunday, and he gets thrown to the ground. That was a big hit that time, and it looks like Sine is able to keep himself awake on that one. Looked like Vinny Bruno was on the tackle that time, along with number 52, the junior Jazir Oliver. Bit of a hike for Pemberton to get here. I mean, they're up in the Pine Barrens, up in the BCSL. Took them probably between 45 minutes to an hour to get here. But again, that's the dedication. You know, we saw Manchester Township and J.P. Stevens last Wednesday, completely out of our regular market in South Jersey. That was in Edison, but it was an hour and a half away from us. Well, it was an hour for Manchester to get to J.P. Stevens. So teams will travel for these kinds of games, and so will we. 2nd and 15 after the loss. Sine taking it himself. Flag comes in. Might have a hold on the line. Sine rolling through. He'll get past the line of scrimmage, but really nothing more. And then a penalty flag might bring this one back even further. Might have been a hold on the right side of the line. Looking like the refs are signaling that way. And already taking off more time on the board. It is an offensive hold. But 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Even if Clearview doesn't score, you're certainly taking away time on the clock for Pemberton to do the same. 7 minutes gone in the first. So that knocks them back 10 yards. They're back to the 35-yard line. First down markers at the 10. So make that 2nd and 25. Not an easy hill to climb for the Pioneers and for Mike Wilson and for Robert Sine, the freshman QB. Bit of a high snap. Rolling over to the right side. He's got a lot of room. He fooled us all, and he's into the end zone. Called for a touchdown, Pioneers. What a conversion by Toll on 2nd and 25, and Clearview's on the board. That is a great way to get on the board for Robert Toll. How about it?
Yeah, it is.
Fooled me. I thought Sine had that one, and I was following him.
I saw him run up the sideline, but I didn't see the ball in his hands. It really confused me. Wow. I mean, that was a very good kind of trick-ish play, I would say. It was more of a double handoff. Not really a trick play, but kind of fooled everybody. Even looked like Pemberton's defense was a little fooled on that one, as
hence why they were able to convert 35 yards for 6 points. Here comes the PAT. It's up, it's low, and it's wide.
And flag on the play.
Penalty flag.
The ref in the white cap threw one late. Let's see what it is here.
Well, they're pulling their guys off the field. So this, do you hear that?
I do.
That's the Clearview student section coming out on a Wednesday night in November. That's incredible.
It was a roughing the kicker call against Pemberton.
So that, because the PAT was no good, that means they can reattempt from half the distance, or they can go for 2. After all, they did score 8 points versus Gateway. I didn't look too deep into it. I don't know if it was touchdown and a safety or touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but let's see here. Yeah, they're basically lined up over the goal line, and a smart move here to try to go for 2 after the running into the kicker call. Would have been a moot point if they made it, but now this is going to get wrapped up. They still go at it. He gets driven to the ground, and that is going to be a failed 2-point conversion. Thing is, though, in that situation, if Clearview's kicker had made the PAT, they would have had the chance to have that penalty applied on the kickoff, but because he missed it, they had the opportunity to redo it, and they decided to go for 2, and it was unsuccessful. Pioneers 6, Hornets 0. We'll stay right here. But a good crowd on hand. I mean, again, for what it's worth, it's a Wednesday evening. I'm trying to get the best shot that we can of that student section. Clearview student section, they come out for baseball games in the middle of the day. They are incredible. One of the reasons why we keep coming back to Clearview, because they are so phenomenal. They are supporting an 0-10 football team on a, it's 61 degrees out. It's a little bit windy. Also, it's a school night, 7 o'clock on a school night. Well, not really, because it's teacher convention weekend.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the start of their weekend.
Yeah,
but still, Wednesday night football, they're coming out for it. That's fantastic. Kudos to Clearview, man. They're doing great things with their student section. some of the Tri-County Royal teams have some of the best. Clearview, Kingsway, Washington Township, even Williamstown. They have fantastic student sections. Ryan Lambert.
And Jackson Niebler, back deep.
Lambert to receive. Clearview to kick. And a ground ball kick that's going to hop high on the turf. And the whistles are going to come out here. Did he hit the tee instead of the ball? Not sure what happened there. So some kind of illegal kicking procedure or some kind of gaff on the kick. They'll re-kick from the same, or no, they're going to walk him back 5 yards. So I would have to imagine this is some kind of penalty because they're going to, knock this one back to the 35. Kicked off from the 35. Clearview looking at both sides. Another squib. So they basically go for the same song, second verse. And we've got another penalty, or we've got another whistle. Was it downed by Pemberton somewhere? Clearview, I think, has gone offside on the kick twice. We have an offside on the kick. They're going to knock this back again. So that really doesn't leave anything up to the imagination. I mean, that's back-to-back offside calls. We're going to have to keep an eye on where Clearview lines up because I didn't know what the offside rule was on kickoffs besides you have to be behind the kicker when the ball is kicked. Are they moving? Because the whistles are blown rather late on these.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where.
Let's just listen in and let's take a look. No, they're well behind. Now Pemberton muffs it. This will be returned up the middle and down to the 39. Returned by number 45. That's Jackson Knabler. So even after the muff, Pemberton does take advantage of 2 offside calls, and they will start this drive at their own 40. So an interesting predicament nonetheless. Let's take a look at the Pemberton quarterback for the evening, Nehemiah Maines. 46% pass completion rate, but he has attempted over 200 passes this year. 1,049 passing yards, 6 TDs, 14 interceptions, and went just about 50%, 15 for 34 versus Morristown last week. And another crossover loss as this is going to be rolled over the middle. That drive in total took 7.5 minutes off the board for Clearview. Just a great progressional drive right there for the Pioneers. I mean, listen, where do they start their drive? 40, took them 8 minutes to go 60 yards. Just about. You know, regardless of how you want to slice that, that is good clock management. You talked about how much it's going to be important for these teams to chew off a lot of clock. That's exactly how it rolls. 2nd and 6. Another handoff. Doesn't get too far this time, although he is ahead of the line of scrimmage. Gets taken back on forward progress. Another couple of players on top of the pile. Looked like the handoff by Pemberton. It was handed off to Ryan Lambert, the senior running back. 456 yards for the senior. That would be his 100th attempt, although it should be noted Maines has taken also over 100 rushing attempts as a very mobile quarterback. Hand off to Lambert. 3rd and short. This is going to be close. Line to gain is right on top of the 50. And that's a Pemberton first down. They were waiting to make sure they got it right. 6-0 Clearview, already down to the last 3 minutes of the first quarter. Handoff. Lambert. Good stop by Clearview that time to hold the gains to 1 yard. Looks like about 1, maybe 2 yards. Yeah, Pemberton might have to just run another methodical drive like Clearview does, and it just might make for a slow first half in our eyes, but when you look at the actual optics of it, might work out pretty well and could make up for a low-scoring affair tonight. Goes back to pass, a high floater. It's incomplete. Intended on the near sideline for number 23, that being the freshman, Deshaun Jones. So a lot of freshmen on both sides playing in this game, and this could be a good benchmark for where these two teams are going to end up in 2026. I mean, listen, Clearview, they're on an 18-game losing streak. They haven't won since October of 2023. It's been a rough couple of years for Clearview. But Pemberton, they're just coming off of a 4-5 season last year. They even, they didn't make the playoffs, but they definitely had some decent games. They were in the WJFL National Division. 2 years ago before Davis's first year, 2 years ago, they were 0-9 under Kareem Johnson, then 3-7 in 2022.
That brings down
Fourth down. Fourth down and 2. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Hold on. That's going to be short, but it's a false start. I saw the running back jump that time forward towards the line. That's just a rookie mistake that time. Those guys are so eager to jump, you almost wish you could have the CFL rules where you're allowed to run up to the line of the scrimmage before the snap. You wish you could do that, but in that situation, you usually see a lineman jump or maybe a wide receiver or a tight end. But in this case, the running back, who was well behind the line of scrimmage, was the one who made the illegal motion, or in this case, the false start. Pemberton keeping their offense on the field. It's 4th and 7 after the false start. They send a man in motion in Madden Macy, the captain. He's in trouble! And it's incomplete, broken up. Looked like that Maines was in trouble. It looked like he was getting wrapped up, but he was able to get the ball out in time. And with 1:20 left in the first quarter, Clearview gets a turnover on downs. And a slew of black, green, and gold on that Clearview sideline as they force Pemberton into a turnover in their first drive. That definitely bodes well for the Pioneers after what was a very long first drive could turn into an even longer second drive from their own 47.
Yeah, I mean, they took, 7.5 minutes off on their first drive. I mean, if they can do that again, we're going to
even better.
We're going to the second quarter with Clearview up at least 12.
We'll have to see here. Drive starts from their own 47. Handoff to Toll. No, they fake. Hard to tell up here in the press box, with all due respect. It does get a little bit, even with the lights off, the glare does get a little bit much in here. It's a little bit hard to see the numbers, or not even the numbers, just the ball is a little bit hard to see. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. I'll have time for maybe one, if not two plays. 2nd and 12 after the loss on the rush on the fake to Toll. A heavy backfield, all 4 players back there. Bunched up on the left side. Trying to break through. Can't get anything there. Looked like Toll and one other player were just trying to get to know each other, I guess, on the far side of the field. It'll be 3rd and 11. They got 1 yard. However, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Mullica Hill. It's the Pioneers 6 and the Hornets 0 here in midweek crossover action here from Gloucester County. We'll be right back. Second quarter on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Ryan Sieber. Ben Wilden is our producer this evening. 3rd and 11. Right side. Gets it to the 50. Sine on the keeper. That'll be well short of a first. Going to be about 7 yards short of the first. Line to gain is all the way up at the 43, so they're definitely far out from that. But yeah, Clearview student section showing out on a Wednesday night. Like I said, it's basically a Friday for them because they got teacher convention weekend. I kind of have that luxury every week because I don't have classes on Thursday or Friday, but I know high school students do not have that same luxury. But I'm just flexing a little bit because I'm in college and can set my own schedule. These kids don't have that luxury.
Ooh, no Fridays is a great thing, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Friday's the best day of the week. 4th and 7. QB in the shotgun. They send a man in motion in full. Drops back. Right side. Sine looks to throw. He's ahead of the line of scrimmage. Not going to get there. Back-to-back turnovers on downs as Clearview will be unable to convert. And that will mark a first down for the Hornets. Just doesn't feel like Clearview was prepared for that drive, which, again, could feel like a microcosm for a lot of things. But just the way that I see it, I mean, Clearview, they started that drive thinking that they were going to have a very similar drive to the one that they scored in the first quarter. But this time, they just kept running the ball and didn't really seem like that they were going anywhere with it. And that time just didn't work out. And Pemberton's now going to be pretty much everybody's stalling out at midfield. Haven't really moved the ball much since. 1st and 10 from their own 47 for the Hornets. They send the man in motion. Handoff to Lambert. Gets 7-ish yards. Got 8 yards that time. Gets it up to the 45 across midfield. And Pemberton setting themselves up well early in this drive. 2nd and 8. They send a man in motion on the opposite side. Another handoff to Lambert in the option offense. Got to be close. With the line to gain at the 43. 3rd down and very short for Pemberton. Toll picks up the tackle. Again, Clearview, I mean, they're a Group 5 program, but they kind of have a roster size like a Group 1. Like they are a big school that really plays very conventional football as if they were a small school. Pass is backwards, got tipped up. The ball should be live. It got rolled out on the far sideline. That should be a backward pass. Clearview saying it should be a backwards pass. And if it is, it's a fumble recovered by the Pioneers, and it is. They explode in celebration. They got it. Back-to-back, two-back turnovers. Turnovers on downs on both sides, and now a fumble recovery as that ball went behind the intended target, Lambert. And as soon as that ball was incomplete, I thought that's got to be a backwards pass. And after a little bit of indecision, they call it for Clearview. First down, Pioneers. And, man, these two teams have really been stalling over midfield. Just not a lot of progress on either side. One team starts at their own 40, and then they get somewhere with it, and then the other team starts at their own 40. Just seems like a repeating cycle. With a turnover on downs against Pemberton, a turnover on downs against Clearview. As that ball is deep down the field, it's caught. Taken in, reeled in by Luke Gabriel. First down, Clearview. That's a great catch in coverage that time. And Luke Gabriel, first down, Pioneers.
Yeah, and it looked like he got ripped down as he caught that, too. That was a really impressive catch there. But.
And Luke Gabriel, a freshman.
Really?
Freshman. That kid's going to be impressive.
Yes, he is.
I mean, listen, your starting quarterback is a freshman. Your wide receiver who just made that catch is a freshman. Mason Toll, who just scored a 35-yard touchdown for the only score of the game, he's a sophomore. It's almost like you're watching a freshman football team, except they're on the varsity level. They're actually playing really well right now. Toll on the carry. not going to hold up. Pemberton's going to bring him to the ground after a couple late tackles there. Nothing personal, though. That'll be a loss of about 2 yards.
Yeah, I mean, and this is really good, smart coaching right here out of Clearview. You
Absolutely.
know, you get the deep ball downfield, and then you start killing clock. You get yourself a good position to score, and you take a beat.
Absolutely.
You run one or two plays, you take some clock off.
You absolutely should take some clock off the board here. I mean, really just got to make the best you can out of it. Avoiding a bad situation, and you don't want to lose the football. Got to keep control of the football as well. 2nd and 10 after a neutral gain rush. Sine, keeper, barrels forward to the 25. He'll be about a yard short of a first. Again, if Clearview can run that option offense really well, I mean, Sine in combination with Toll really keeping Pemberton guessing. Obviously, Pemberton has their own option offense with their QB Maines and then their leading rusher Lambert, but they don't really. Neither team really has that third option when it comes to rushing, because when you want to run a triple option, let's just say, you need a quarterback, a running back, and preferably a fullback. But in today's level of football, you probably are just going to put 2 running backs on the field. In this situation, both teams really have 2 out of that 3, and they're still making it work. 3rd and short. That should be a first down, as it looks like they proved me wrong by using said third option, being the running back Sean Laverty, another sophomore. So Pioneers pick up the first down, and they're now on the doorstep of the red zone from the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Clearview. Question is for Clearview, how much momentum would a score here really change the game? I mean, Pemberton has been, kind of held out here with those turnovers, a turnover on downs and a fumble. Now Clearview's got an opportunity to really make them pay and go up 2 scores. 1st and 10. Spinning around, Sane in trouble, going to get knocked back behind the line of scrimmage. 4-yard loss that time. Tackle was made by number 52, Jazir Oliver. Pemberton's roster consisting as a whole of 28 players for a Group 3 program.
Yeah, that is something I've noticed, is when Pemberton's offense comes out, half the players on the field stay out on the field.
Yeah, they're
when
not really moving
out,
much.
The same half come out on the field.
2nd and 14. Oh, hold on here. A quick fake. Looked like carry was made again by Laverty. Toll was on the carry there. It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. I mean, you're on the doorstep of the red zone, but you also don't want to be too aggressive here. I mean, you blink and you miss it. Now you've got under a half a quarter remaining because you're down to your last 6 minutes. Clearview, again, that's the one thing about these long drives, is that we talk, we ramble, we talk about what's going on in the field, and then by the time we look back up at the clock, there's only 6 minutes left in the half. That's how much this Clearview team is really making these guys think on the defensive side. Sine with the option carry. Keeper. He gets tackled at the 25. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards, and Clearview will now be in a precarious spot with a 4th and 13. Tough call here if you're Clearview, if you're Mike Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, you have a kicker. I don't know if he has quite the leg to make this kick.
Their kicker rostered as Brandon Kiss, which is a lineman, number 55.
They don't appear to be kicking it.
And they're actually going to call a timeout. So they're going to burn their 2nd timeout of the half. With 4:49 to play in quarter number 2. It's their it's their 2nd of the half. They have 1 remaining. We'll take a quick break. It's the Pioneers 6 and the Hornets 0. 6-0 Clearview here in Wednesday crossover football here from Reardon Field in the heart of Gloucester County's countryside in Mullica Hill. Sine, the freshman, drops back, fires a pass deep. Looks like some contact, and it gets broken up. They want a defensive pass interference call, and I honestly wouldn't argue against that, but they don't get it. And on 4th and 15, we have 4 straight drives ending in a turnover. 3 of them turnovers on downs, and then Clearview at a fumble recovery on a backwards pass. But overall, not looking like a very productive first half for either side, and it could just, again, as we correctly predicted in the open, could come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and who can run the clock down better. Should be noted Pemberton will receive the ball to open the second half, so they could get a double whammy against Clearview if they can score in the last 5 minutes of the first half and then come back out and have another thunderous drive to start the third. This is going to be a leaping pass by Maines on the right side. Still on his feet, moving forward. And the hodgepodge consensus of athletes on the far side of the field dictate that that'll be a first down for the Hornets. Tackle with me by Jake Martell, a junior, class of 2027. Handoff at the middle. Looks like Maines might have taken that one himself because Lambert is on the outer edge of that pile. Look out. That was taken by Campbell. Jackson Campbell, the sophomore. Second and 7 from the 43, still on their half of the field. Burning through again. Lambert rolls over on top of his helmet. It'll be 3rd and short here, but Pemberton is moving. They just have to move a little bit quicker. I mean, theoretically, you got 3.5 minutes. You really don't have to move that quickly. This pace, honestly, might be good enough if you add in 1 or 2 big extrapolating plays to get you 10, 20, 25 yards. You can probably get 6 points here before the half if you just keep keeping the ball on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Pemberton's quarterback had over 200 pass attempts, and we haven't seen one tonight out
No.
of this Pemberton offense.
They have been keeping very conservative here.
Now may be the time, just.
Oh, that's going to be trouble. Lambert down. Tackle made by number 10, Nick Samanikichi, and that will be a 4th down and 5 for the Hornets with under 3 minutes to play in the half. Hornets going out to punt, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Maines has not gone back to pass at all tonight. It's been intriguing to see as to why. Clearview will get the ball back with 2:30 and counting. Got a penalty flag from the near sideline. See what happens here. Too many men against Clearview. Either that or a late substitution. I can't remember what that. I believe it's too many men, though. Let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3,
12.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 12.
Yep.
Well, that's one of the easiest jobs for a referee to do in football is count to 12.
Yep.
And actually, so that will be a Pioneers, a Hornets first down. So the Hornets were back to punt. Clearview couldn't get their ducks in a row, and it results in a Pemberton first down. Really putting us back where we were with 2 minutes 30 in the half. Rolling over there, Lambert on the carry. He'll get about 5 yards up to the 45. That's a big break for Pemberton. Rolling out to the right side. The pass was caught by number 11, Madden Macy. Plenty good, for a Hornets first down. And whistles blow here. Pemberton calls their first timeout. We'll stick it right here. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper. Pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. This broadcast is brought to you as well by Rowan College of South Jersey at Gloucester, New Jersey's premier community college with high-quality, top-of-the-line associate's degree programs in person and online. Register for the winter semester today at rcsj.edu, and for athletic recruitment, visit rcroadrunners.com. We'll be at RCSJ for 3 DWB broadcasts next week. We've got a whole bunch of them scoped out this season, but next Tuesday, the 11th, men's basketball standalone versus the Union Owls. And then a doubleheader, women and men's basketball on Saturday, the 15th. Oh, ball comes out. Falling on it will be Campbell. That'll set them back a long way. Mentioned, though, we have the Luzerne County Trailblazers on Saturday for a women and men's doubleheader, 12-2 in Deptford Township. Second down and a long way. They're right back to where they started. They're at the 49. Dropping back, Campbell on the right side. So now Campbell seems like he's lining up as the quarterback. He only attempted 5 passes all season, but he was 3 for 5, and he went 1 for 2 versus Morristown last week. So it seems like Pemberton going with definitely a tenfold strong audible here late in the first half, as it's 3rd and 22. First down markers all the way up to 27. One minute, 16 to play in the first half, that is. 3rd and 22. They throw on a flat. Now they bring it on a pitch to the left side. He's got some room. Lambert diving forward to the 30. It'll be short by about 5 yards, but that was a great play by Pemberton to really shake up Clearview's defense and send them in a lot of different ways, none of which were towards the ball. And hold on here. Have more whistles. No injured players from what I can see. It is a Pemberton timeout. Their second of the half. We'll take a quick break. We've got, looks like 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the first half. We'll take a quick break at 6-0. It's 4th and short as a pitch fake. Got Pemberton all in a rut, as that'll be on the right side for Lambert. Flag comes in from the back. It's a first down, but maybe not for long as Lambert gets inside the red zone to the 15. Penalty flag comes in. With great yardage comes great holding calls, and that's exactly what it is. It's a hold against Pemberton. That will knock them back 10 yards to the spot of the foul, and with under a minute to play, makes for an interesting setup here. So if it's 4th and short, the flag came in, I think, as Lambert was crossing the first down stripe. So I think that this should bring it back to 4th and about 10, and it just about will. It's basically 10 yards back from the line of scrimmage, but it's 4th and 12. And Pemberton's really going to take a lot of time off the board here just because they've been knocking themselves back with penalties.
Yeah, I mean,
they converted on what, 2nd and 25 earlier?
Just about, yeah. I mean, Pemberton's been like big play, flag, big play, flag. So this offense has got to get a little more discipline if they want to get back in this game.
That ball was low. Now the throw is picked off. Running with it is Clearview on the near sideline at midfield. He's moving forward. And he's out of bounds. A couple of late hits. And the interception is made by Tony Blackwell. There's a flag. How about that? Robert Sine, the quarterback, had the interception that time. An unsportsmanlike call, though, will get called against Clearview. I couldn't tell. I didn't look up quick enough to see if that was an offset. If Pemberton also got hit with one, because there was a little bit of extracurriculars on the sideline, but nothing crazy. Now the refs are going to sort this one out. And remember, that gets spotted from the spot of the foul. So I would assume the interception stands, because the flag came in late. So the penalty does come on the return, and now Clearview is going to have a long walk back for the last 30 seconds of the half. Lined up back at the 25-yard line. Remember where Robert Sine was? It was not the 25-yard line. They'll have trips right. Actually, no, just two receivers, and then that fullback lodged in there. They rushed, not sensing too much urgency there, with Pemberton receiving the ball to start the second half. Looks like they're going to play this one safe, and with 15 seconds left, they'll run down the clock. They are getting back in the huddle, but I don't think they're going to do anything about it. At the end of the first half, it's the Pioneers 6 and the Hornets 0. A low-scoring affair here in Mullica Hill. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the halftime program. First of all, during the halftime program, stay tuned for the DWB Archive Show, where we show you the best of the best from the 4 years of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting's history, from walk-off hits to game-winning shots and much more on our Archives program. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead Exton Lewis. To end the day for Luke Pokrovsky. Little pop-up, first base side, he calls for it, and for the first time in 33 years, the Charlotte Cougars will hoist the trophy and face Middlesex on Monday. 4-3, Cougars win it. And in the battle of green and gold, the trophy stays true with the visitors. What a finish! And Shalleck will pack their bags for Middlesex and the Blue Jays when the weekend turns around to Monday. Epplite, you know, he's, again, one time leaving the bases loaded is frustrating enough. Doing it twice in a row. Oh, how about this? Line drive. They're going to, no, he's throwing it around the infield. They're going to throw him out at first. He's out. I have never seen that before. That is a 5-4-3 ground out because the third baseman thought he caught it. The home plate umpire said no, so he threw it around the infield and then got the out at first anyway because the batter thought he was out.
The batter stopped. The third baseman thought
Everybody
he caught
stopped.
it, and it touched.
And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning.
So after the holding call to be 1st and 20, as now rolling out to the right side, he's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags, and how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline, and Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the Redhawks at 7-6.
Back here at halftime, a low-scoring affair here in Mullica Hill. It's the Pioneers of Clearview 6 and the Pemberton Hornets 0. A very interesting first half. Clearview scored on their first drive of the game, a 7.5-minute drive that saw Clearview take up 6, but they were unable to score on the 2-point conversion, and that's what kept the score as it was. But 4 straight drives ending with a turnover really just hampered any progress that either team could have made in the first half. We saw turnovers on downs galore. We saw a fumble recovery. We saw an interception. So I apologize. That's 5 drives that ended in a turnover in a row before this first half ended. Ryan, your thoughts on the first half for both sides?
Yeah, I mean, like I said pregame, it's going to be about clock management, and that's what Clearview's been doing this whole time so far. They have held on to the ball, whatever. They're taking long drives. They're taking 4 or 5 minutes off the clock.
Right.
They're getting those turnovers. They're doing great things in defense. I think if they keep it up, they'll get their first win here.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big test for Clearview. This is their last game of the season. They don't play Thanksgiving anymore like they used to versus Kingsway, and it's just going to come down to where Clearview slides in here. Pemberton's on an 8-game losing streak. Well, guess what? Clearview's on an 18-game losing streak. They're 0-10 this season. They were 0-8 last season with Stephen Duncan. Former Shalleck head coach Mike Wilson is the new head coach, and he's going to be looking for his first win in a Pioneers uniform. We'll take a quick break, and we'll flip this camera back around for the second half of action here at Mullica Hill. Second half ready to go here in Mullica Hill. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Ryan Sieber on the call, Ben Wilden, our producer. Pioneers 6 and the Hornets 0. A low-scoring affair here in Mullica Hill on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting between a battle of two relatively large schools with relatively small rosters for how large their school's populace is. This will be kicked away by Brandon Kiss. Just trying to avoid an offside. They got called twice for that. A squib on the right side is returned at the 20. And he's down inside the 40. So Pemberton will start their drive here. But remember, we have had 5 straight drives end in a turnover. Turnover on downs, fumble recovery, turnover on downs, interception. This has been a weird drive. And Pemberton, who had a long drive that basically killed any chance of scoring in the second quarter, where, as you mentioned, they had big play, but then a flag, another big play, and then a flag. They really just couldn't get anywhere consistently, and it found themselves in a hole that they could not get out of prior to giving up an interception with about 30 seconds left in the first half. First play of the second is a keeper for Maines. Gets about 10, 11 yards that time. That will be enough with the hodgepodge over the first down marker. They'll move up the sticks for a Hornets first down. It's a good emphatic way to start the second half for what it's worth. Picking up 11 yards that time, getting up to the 47, much more favorable position. Campbell with a handoff. Wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage. They keep everybody on their feet. Second down.
I think it'd be big for Pemberton if they get something going on offense here to start this second half. You know, like you said, 5 drives, 5 turnovers, no points on the board. If they get something started early here, I think they have a chance to come back into this game.
2nd and 9, definitely plausible as a low snap is fired off to the right side. Clearview comes in for the breakup. It's the kicker, it's the lineman, it's the he can do everything. He's got 4 positions listed under his name. It's Brandon Kiss with the breakup. 3rd and 9. I kid you not, he is listed as a safety, an offensive lineman, and a kicker, and a punter.
It's like the Shohei Ohtani of high school football out here.
Well, would the Shohei Ohtani of football just be Taysom Hill?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
You could say Travis Hunter, but Travis Hunter's not a quarterback. Yeah. Taysom Hill can kind of do everything. Throw is tipped up and incomplete. That'll put an abrupt end to Clearview's, or rather to Pemberton's drive, as this ends up being, looks like a 3 and out. They'll send Lambert back to punt for Pemberton. Still early in the second half, but things are certainly starting to sway in the favor of the Pioneers. Pemberton making a quick switch, adding an extra man to the line. Taking a while here. 2 hops on a punt. He's in trouble. I don't know if he tried to fake it or if it just didn't work out. It's another turnover on downs. Make that 6 turnovers in a row. This is the epitome of Wednesday football, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see things you have never even dreamed of in high school football. Pioneers up by 6, and they now have even better field position from the opposing 43.
Yeah, Dan, and also it wouldn't shock me if Clearview took about 8 minutes on this drive. Just go down, score, take a lot of clock off the third quarter, really set themselves up in the second half.
Clearview will take the field here with 10:49, meaning that Pemberton's drive, which included a couple passes, only lasted 1 minute and 11 seconds. 1st and 10. Good snap there. Handoff. Breaking free. He emerged from the pile really with no warning. Coming up for about a 10-yard gain that time is Toll, the sophomore. It'll be short. It will be 2nd and 1.
Make that 10. Good for Pioneers. First down. Using now my number 24, Nathaniel Rivera.
Rivera had to tackle that time for the Hornets, but it sets up a nice position for Clearview. They actually did get enough. It looked like it was 2nd and 1, and then they gave him the edge. 1st down from the 35-yard line. Another good snap. Toll on the carry. He will break through again for a gain of 13. Not Toll that time. Bartella the carry. 1st down, back-to-back for the Pioneers, and they're finally starting to look like a well-assembled offense on this drive alone with Robert Sine, the freshman, as a quarterback who has also recorded an interception. Again, this feels like I'm watching a Group 1 game, but instead it's Group 5 versus Group 3 in Pemberton and Clearview here on this Wednesday evening. Handoff up the middle. We're both trying to hold in the left. the new crowd mic that we have, I don't know how well it picked it up, but there's a kid at the bottom. He says, I say 6, you say 7. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Because I looked over at you and I'm like, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
I'm really hoping that our crowd mic picked that up.
I gotta say, we're both in college. We shouldn't find that funny anymore.
No, we should not. It's like, it's just like how January 1st, 2017, dabbing became very, very, very unfunny very quickly. 2nd and 7. Send a man in motion. They fake it to Toll. It's keeper for Sine. Getting it forward. They're inside the red zone. Or actually, they're going to be inside the red zone now as they're up to the 15. About 8 yards on the play.
Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Pioneers.
3rd and 1. And now a timeout called. It is an injured timeout on the board, just a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 3rd quarter, 8:22 to play as a Pemberton player gets attended to. We'll be right back. Continue. 6-0 Clearview, although Clearview is on the doorstep of putting on their second touchdown of the day. They're still about 15 yards away from doing so. It's 3rd and 1. Sine takes the snap. Hands off. Piling over, and somebody's got to stay on their feet. This might be a stop by Pemberton here. Might be they're going to flip it to 4th. 4th and 1. Great stop by the Clearview, rather by the Pemberton D-line right there. They knew the run was coming, and I think you can expect the run is going to come again. Don't really think that's going to surprise anybody.
4th down and 1 for the Pioneers.
Fourth and 1. Big stop by Pemberton to make one more with Sine in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left. Handoff. This is going to be close. He dives forward, and it looks like he's got it for a Pioneers first down. Bartell. Looks like he was able to get across. Clearview first down. Not enough for a 1st and goal. They're at the 12, so we'll have one more set of downs unless they crank it into the end zone. But at this moment, what did we mention when Clearview got the ball back after a turnover on downs? They were going to take another couple of minutes off the board. They've already taken 4 off the board, and they only had to traverse 43 yards as opposed to their 60-yard, 7-minute drive in the first quarter. Handoff is going to be, oh, look out. No flags. Lambert, a combination of Lambert and Rivera were in there. But forward progress dictates that that's a gain of 2. Sine coming back in. They do get inside the 10 with that run by Bartell. But Pemberton was only able to stop the Pioneers so many times. They got to stop on 3rd and 1. Clearview goes aggressive, up by a score on 4th and 1, and they're able to convert. Now they've got to do it again with the line to gain at the 2. That one is not going to go anywhere. Although he did get somewhere with it. It looked like it was going to be wrapped up by number 77, Alan Lewis. But now it'll be interesting to see if Pemberton can make a stop. Toll had the carry. Again, this is it in the least in the least awkward way possible. This is country versus country. Clearview, farmlands galore in Mullica Hill. Those kids are going to be raised a little bit different than the kids in the city. Pemberton, same way, right in the middle of the Pine Barrens. These two programs, even if they don't have strength in numbers, they're going to have strength in the actual physical players that they put on the field. Rolling out to the left side, diving forward. He's going to be right on top of the 2 or 3 yard line. Clearview wants a first down. See if it's enough. It will not. They're going to be all the way back at the 4. I don't know how much I agree with that spot, but with the hodgepodge of everybody in green and gold and white laying on top of each other, it doesn't make for an easy situation. 4th and 2. Pemberton's made big defensive stops before, but this one's almost at the goal line. They do have an opportunity to drop the sticks. It is not 4th and goal. Sine, keeper, has to roll out. He misdirects to the left. He's got room. He makes a man miss. Touchdown, Clearview. Robert Sine makes it 12-0 with his score, a 4-yard rush on a huge misdirection. And the Pioneers lead this one by double digits. Just another big break that time. Pemberton was tasked with making the defensive stop, and they almost did. But on 4th and short, unable to execute, and honestly, part of that can be attributed to Robert Sine. That 4-yard misdirection, he cut out to the right, made a man miss, went out to the left, made another man miss. Offense on the field, they'll go for 2, trying to make up for their missed PAT from earlier, make this a clean 14-zip. They send a man in motion, but long before he can get there, Sine fires it, and it's caught. Pass was made in the far corner of the end zone for number 22, Bentley Riggs. Bentley Riggs, can you guess something about him? He's a freshman, and that's two-point conversion to make it 14 for Clearview, 0 for Pemberton, as a 4-yard rush by Robert Sine on a misdirection puts Clearview up by double digits. Look at this, moving out to the right, made him miss big time, created a lot of space. That one tackle was all he needed, and he was in the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get stopped in the backfield and get tackled about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then he just makes a U-turn. Goes
just
around the other way.
Complete U-turn, complete 180 that time from the freshman.
Then shakes one guy who's in the end zone for another 6.
Just fantastic stuff there as Clearview goes up 12-0, looking for their first win since 2023. Would be so sentimental for them, even on a game that to be completely honest, I was asked why I did this game. Seriously. People ask me, they're like, Dan, why are you doing this game? It's a Wednesday night. It's the first week of November. It's cold. It's windy. And it's 1-8 versus 0-10. Well, I said, because I know that this game is going to be close between two programs that have had it rough this year and programs that don't get a lot of coverage in the media. Our good friend Gray Fox Sports is here. Michael Taylor, he's somewhere around in the yellow, but he's a Clearview grad and also a proud sponsor of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. So just should be known. I mean, it is important that, you know, these teams that don't get a lot of coverage get at least some love outside of their game film. On the left side, returned by Pemberton, by Rivera to the 37.
Yeah, and like we've been saying all game, I mean, Clearview's been controlling the clock. That drive took another 6 minutes off.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it was. So we have 4:48 in the third quarter. And the Pioneers look to take a stand on defense as that broke a streak of 6 drives, ending with a turnover, 4 turnovers on downs, a fumble recovery, and an interception during all of that even traversed the first and second halves. As Campbell in the shotgun fakes the handoff. It's actually a direct snap to Lambert. He'll get about 5 yards up to the 44. 43, 44-ish, second down and mid-range. An active and always bustling campus here at Clearview Regional. The student section coming out tonight. Got to take a picture with Dom Abate and members of the Clearview baseball team. We appreciate your support. 2nd and 5. Gets another 2 yards on the rush by Pemberton. Of course, Clearview baseball always on our minds as we get ready for, well, I say I'm getting ready for the spring season. I have to get ready for the winter season first. We have to get ready for high school basketball. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a gauntlet. It was a gauntlet for high school football. It's going to be a gauntlet for high school basketball. It's going to be everything. 3rd and 1. Interesting formation for such a short drive, as that's going to be a ball that's bounced. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. He got pile-driven from the back that time. The pass was intended for Madden Macy, and he comes up incomplete. Actually, it was intended for number 10, Brandon Tomlin. Actually, I was wrong a second time. It's number 18, Vinny Bruno. Either way, gist of the matter is that it was incomplete. Yeah, I didn't see the line through his jersey. I thought that 18 was a number 10. I feel like that could be easily confused, but I rest my case. 4th and 1 after an incompletion. Direct snap, Lambert spins around. He's got a first down by plenty. At least 2 yards past the line of the first down marker. He might be trampled right on top of midfield. It's a first down for Clearview. Gabriel was on the tackle that time as a bit of a floater pass by Lambert incomplete. A convergence of Clearview's defense and Pemberton's offense results in neutrality with an incomplete pass at 2nd and 10. Didn't even really look like a breakup that time. It just looked like Clearview was running in towards the line of scrimmage. Pemberton's receiver was running out. They both get together. Both of them maybe get a tip or two on it, and it's incomplete. Pemberton right on top of the midfield stripe at the 50. Another almost bobbled snap. Lambert's going to try to throw. Fires it. Right side, incomplete. Intended on the near sideline for the freshman Deshaun Jones. Third and 10. Handoff to the left side by number 25. That's another freshman, Josh Dixon. So, yeah, this is really an interesting matchup because it's almost like we're looking into the future here. Quarterback for Clearview is a 2029 grad. Almost shivers me to say the word 2029. I mean, are you kidding me? I got to get ready for 2026.
That's when I graduate college.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to be, most likely. I'm going to be 24 in 2029. I don't want to think about that. I just turned 20 on Tuesday. I can't think that far ahead. 4th and 5. Another rush just does not go anywhere, and Clearview's going to get a turnover on downs. 7 of the last 8 drives have ended in turnovers, and now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Clearview's going to take over again, looking to add on another score.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally they're just going to handle this ball until the end of the third and then chew off the first 3-4 minutes of the fourth. They've just been taking long drives left and right all night and really been controlling the ball well.
Yeah, that's what I think Clearview's doing best here. And sometimes these postseason consolation games, they are your best games. They are the best opportunities for players that don't usually see the field to get that opportunity. Those are sometimes the best opportunities for players that are just looking to turn the page into the next season to get that next chance, to get that opportunity. Here comes a pass, left side. It's caught. He gets wrapped up, thrown around hard, and the ball comes out. But they're going to call it an incompletion?
Nope.
No.
I think they're waving Pemberton ball.
Pemberton ball. So 1 play and a turnover, just like it never happened. That is 8 turnovers in the last 9 drives. I feel like that number is just going to keep going up and up and up. And I thought they were going to call it an incomplete pass at first, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense because he had the ball for a lot longer. Pemberton ball from the 49 on the opposite side of their half. You were talking about Clearview having a long drive, huh? That's not going to happen. 1 play and a fumble.
Spoke a little too soon there, Dan.
Well, I mean, you spoke with good context in regards to what has happened in Clearview's 2 scoring drives today. Is that pass is picked off? Oh, my goodness. Right side. Back-to-back turnovers and rolling all the way. Breaks through. Pick 6. Clearview. It's Sine. Robert Sine, the freshman, in his first varsity start as a starting quarterback. He's done a lot on the offensive side, but give him credit for 2 interceptions, and he runs that one back to the house. 20 zip with 2:15 to play in the third. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
kind of lost right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. They're going to try the PAT with Brandon Kiss. Last time they tried, a penalty flag was called for running into the kicker. That looked like a 50-yard return. Kiss on the PAT. It's up, away. It's a low flyer, and it is good. Clearview 21, Pemberton 0. Let's take a look at that pick 6. How about this? Pemberton gets the ball back on a fumble recovery, and 1 play later, right back at you. Robert Sine picks up the interception, grabbed that one right out of midair, brought it back. Just went all the way, and the last man to get him, one man that just couldn't dive, he broke it out. Clearview goes up by 21 here in the third quarter. But Robert Sine, man, freshman quarterback, first varsity start, because we've been wrong on who the Clearview quarterback is twice this year. If you remember when we were here back in August, it was Bennett Durkin that was the quarterback, but then he got subbed out 4 games in for Ryan Ligameri, and now his job has been turned over to Robert Sine. And man, Robert Sine is making a darn good first impression. Here comes the kick from Kiss. Didn't really go that far.
Looked like an onside kick attempt there.
Up by 21?
Interesting for sure.
I mean, I guess why not?
Yeah.
I didn't even really see it coming. I had a wide angle shot, thinking that we were just gonna have a standard kick.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean, Clearview's been kicking it deep all night. That was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Kiss 1 for 2 on PATs, give Pemberton the ball at their own 48. First and 10. Rolling out left side. Pass is tipped up and incomplete. Intended on the far sideline for the captain, junior, Madden Macy. Here from Clearview Regional High School, we've got a packed weekend of DWB football and soccer on the ready for this weekend. Yes, our next 3 days will include 5 games, if I'm counting right. We've got, first of all, we've got 2 soccer games and a football game on Friday. We'll be working from dawn to dusk and quite past dusk as well, as here comes the snap. Rolling through it. Staying on his feet is Dixon. And he'll get about 7 yards out of it up to the 46. But point is, we've got Central Jersey Group 2 quarterfinals on Friday. Of course, teacher convention weekend for those of you in high school. 10 a.m. at Cinnaminson versus the Manasquan Warriors, who will be making their DWB debut out of the Shore Conference. Then on 2 o'clock on Friday, we've got South Jersey Group 1 between the Palmyra Panthers and the Pittman Panthers. 7 o'clock, we've got South Jersey non-public football between the St. Joe's Hamilton Wildcats and the Paul Sixth Eagles. 3rd and 4, a bit of an ingenuous spot there as they'll get a little bit out of this. This is going to be close. Spotted at the 42. They will say it's enough. They're getting the signal across to the men on the chains that is enough for a first down, Pemberton. Forgot to mention as well, on Saturday, we've got a great matchup in the South Jersey Group 1 semifinals. It's the Shalla Cougars and the Paulsboro Red Raiders at 12 noon on Saturday. It'll be an interesting game for Paulsboro, who, after an altercation on Saturday, had 16 players disqualified for Saturday's game. But that'll be 12 noon on Saturday from Glenn Howard Stadium in Paulsboro. Looks like he tried to rattle with the snap a little bit. Pass deep. He's got a man without any area code. He gets down to the 5-yard line. Great catch by Pemberton as they move that one up, but we do have a penalty flag down. Mike Wilson certainly saying it's against Pemberton. Wonder if this might be a pass ahead of the line of scrimmage play. He was close. And remember, for a quarterback's pass to be called back for a pass over the line of scrimmage, his body has to be fully over the line.
Personal foul call.
Personal foul, okay. So not what I thought it might be. That pass was good. It just, oh man, that was tough.
Yeah, Like you said time and time again, Dan, with great yards comes great penalties. So.
Exactly. And that was a good pass too. Brought him all the way back to the. Brought him all the way up to the 5-yard line.
Oh, fantastic play!
Would have been a great one if not for a personal foul.
It's just kind of been, story of Pemberton's life in this game. Big play, flag brings it back. It's just kind of been a constant. They just got to be more disciplined.
That's just what it boils down to. You got to be more disciplined. This is the last game of the season for both teams. Both teams with 0 prior history prior to today. Another rollout over the middle, and again, they just converted a 1st and 15. Great stuff there by Pemberton, getting able to move the sticks. Toll got the tackle. And with 10 seconds left, I don't think Pemberton's in any hurry to end the third quarter, but what a long third quarter it was. Got a lot of action. They might try to get one more play off. They've got 2 seconds. They sent a man in motion. They did not get it off in time. Kind of an interesting strategy there, but Clearview tacks on 2 scores, a pick 6, and then, or before that I should say, a huge rushing score to get them up 21-0 in the third quarter. We'll go to the fourth. We've got 12 more to play right after this. Fourth quarter ready to go. Pemberton now flipping the field. They're on their opposing 30. Was able to come back after a 1st and 15. They had a holding call that brought them back after a big pass. Oh, hold on here. Got to stay on his feet. Pemberton trying to wrestle their way out of it with the freshman Josh Dixon. The one thing that's a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes is these players, they don't really give their hands up after the whistle. And I think that is almost a direct byproduct of these teams being very young. When you run into senior-heavy, junior-heavy teams, you're going to find that a lot of those players are a lot more disciplined in that regard. But we've seen multiple quarterbacks that are freshmen or sophomores, wide receivers, running backs, linemen that are freshmen and sophomores. That really hasn't been programmed into their style of play yet. Oh, a good move, but that just gets wrapped up big time. The rush by number 2, Andrew Anderson, the first time we've called his name tonight. Tackle made for a loss. It is 3rd and 11. I like the concept, but as soon as he tried to cut in, Clearview caught him. If he cut in and he had any more space, would have been great. But instead, it's a loss of 1 because Clearview read that cut very, very well. Pemberton calls their first time out of the half. We'll stick it right here. Clearview 21, Pemberton 0. As this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends at Gray Fox Sports. Premier sports photography right in your backyard. Visit grayfoxsports.net or Gray Fox Sports on Instagram for more information on booking and future events. This broadcast is also brought to you by Dog Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. Visit dawgprowrestling.com for information on future events and on future bookings. If you'd like to book the most dangerous act in town for your next corporate outing, family event, private event, whatever it may be, book Dog Pro Wrestling. Can't you tell that video is a little bit old? From August, when all the trees were still around. Obviously, the trees are still around, just not the leaves on the trees. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Now, Clearview's, really nice surrounding area.
Oh, yeah. The drive here when the sun was setting at 5 o'clock was fantastic. Oh, he dumps it off. Incomplete. Scramble for the ball. Clearview comes up with it, but the whistles flew. More whistles came in there. Not sure if there was a flag or... You could see one of the referees is talking with a Clearview player, and then that was Sine. A ref and Mike Wilson were in there. 4th and 12. Just so, I mean, this feels like a Friday night game. It really does. Like, when we were here, not here, but when we did crossover football last Wednesday, Manchester Township and J.P. Stevens, both teams were 0-9. There were about 20 people there. I mean, literally, for a Group 5 school that has over 2,000 kids, in Edison, one of the most heavily populated areas in New Jersey, over 150,000 people live there. It's basically a small city. Right side on 4th and 12. He's in trouble, and he's sacked. Big stop by the Pioneers. Coming up with that one, number 29, Logan Wright, the sophomore. There is some passion and grit on this Clearview team, and I think it gives me a lot of hope for either 2026 or 2027, just because of how good these two teams appear to be in theory. I mean, you know, these are young, scrappy teams. It's almost like you're getting a look into the future. And Clearview's definitely showing that with a 21-0 lead. Let's take a look at that replay real quick of the hit that brought him down. Was just really able to get some great progress here. I mean, he rolled out to the right. Just really was in a lot of trouble from start to finish.
Then you see him fly on the far side of the screen. Big hit, too.
First down for Clearview. Rush gets about 3 yards. Carry was made by number 17, Jake Martell, a junior. So the juniors that are on this team now can pivot and go. Oh, we got a player down for Pemberton. Oh, that's rough. He is, oh, that's rough. He's favoring his right leg really badly here. It's number 52 down. Jazeer Oliver has been a great defensive mainstay for Pemberton. But, yeah, point is, I'm looking at this Clearview roster. I mean, how many seniors do you have? You have Mason Jones and Brody Selfridge. That's 2. 2 seniors. I don't know if I've ever seen a team with 2 seniors on it. Got a good correction as well. Mason Jones is out with a knee injury, so the only senior that's even playing is Brody Selfridge. And if I'm Clearview, or even if I'm an outside observer, that gives me a lot of hope. That gives me a lot of hope. Remember when Steve Scanlon was here? I mean, obviously that was before I got into sports media, but when Steve Scanlon was here, he was winning 6 games a year. He was getting these guys into the playoffs. Don't forget, Clearview was just a couple of years removed from sectional titles or sectional championship appearances. They've been here before. And I think that in high school football, if you go on Gridiron, New Jersey, NJ.com only goes back to 2010. Gridiron goes back to 2003. And I'm sure if you look through a couple library books, you could find records going back even further. Every team has good years and bad years. My alma mater, Audubon, we were once very feared. But that was 20 years ago when Joe Flacco was the quarterback. Gateway used to be a really good program back in the mid-2000s.
Yeah,
I mean, they had some really good years in like 05, 06.
2016, I think, is the most recent year I recall being just having an unreal team.
Yeah, so every team goes through this. We covered Deptford, and funny enough, Pat Landis' son, Luke Landis, is on this Clearview team as a freshman. Rush by Clearview, gets about 6 yards, close to the first down marker, and they do call it a first down for the Pioneers. But his son is on this team, and Patrick Landis, I believe Deptford was also 1-8 this year. They opted not to play any consolation games, and they just decided to end the season as it was. But they were, during the Al Oreo years, were 8-1, 9-1. They won back-to-back sectional championships in 2002 and 2003. Now, of course, those are long gaps of time, and players are cycled out every 4 years. It's not like college where teams get a red shirt and a COVID year and an injury year. This is 4 years and you're done. So things cycle out. Toll gets wrapped up. Tackle by Lambert. Lambert quite literally listed on the Pemberton roster as just an athlete. Can play anywhere. He's taken snaps as a QB. He's taken rushes as a running back. He's made catches as a wide receiver. And he's now picked up tackles against Clearview's offense. And that one was good enough for a loss of 5. 2nd and long. All the way back to the 43.
I think if Clearview can just kind of keep controlling the ball for the rest of this quarter, I think they'll be strolling into their first win since, what did you say, 2023?
October of 2023. Stephen Duncan, in his second to last year with Clearview, went 3-7. Clearview went 0-8 last year in Duncan's first year, and here he goes. All the way up into the red zone. Big rush. Looks like Toll. And now emerging, but albeit a little bit gingerly, is Toll.
Yeah, now after a big play like that, you run the ball, you take some time off the clock, you score, nail in the coffin, Clearview win.
Again, as we said, 0-8 last year. In Duncan's year in 2023, they went 3-7. They won a consolation playoff game over Heightstown. That would be their last win, October 26, 2023. They also beat Egg Harbor Township and Vineland in that 2023 season. Handoff. But again, you don't have to go that far back. 2022, they were right back to the same thing. They were 1-8, and they beat winless EHT team. But 2021, that is how far you have to go back for not only their last playoff appearance, which is when they made Central Group 4, but they actually started off 2-0 that year, beating Cherry Hill West and Vineland in Scanlon's last season, and then losing to Delsey, Washington Township, but also riffing off wins over Hamilton, Deptford, and Mainland, but winning 34-14 in a home playoff game versus Lacey. Rush to the right side by Sine. 3rd and mid-range. Third and short. Got to imagine Clearview is going to keep the ball on the ground. I don't see any reason why they need to put the ball in the air. They've seen enough out of Sine's passing, and they've certainly seen enough out of his defensive efforts with 2 interceptions. But how about that stretch that we had where 8 of 9 drives were turnovers? The fact that we went from that to this, almost miraculous, with 6:30 to play. Handoff. Up the middle. Not getting anywhere on that one. Pemberton kind of got shaken up on that play with number 77, Alan Lewis. Pemberton themselves only have 8 seniors. And out of those, I've only mentioned 2 of their names tonight. I've actually mentioned 3. Nathaniel Rivera, Ryan Lambert, and Andrew Anderson. However, Andrew Anderson I've only mentioned once because he had 1 target on a reception. 4th and 1. They hand off over the middle, diving forward on 4th and short is number 17, Jake Martell. Good enough to drop the sticks, drop them at your feet to first down, Clearview. Taking off even more time now and taking away more of any opportunity for Pemberton to score. Forget about Pemberton scoring, making a comeback is the bigger picture here.
Pioneers looking at a first down and goal. 5.5 minutes to go in the game.
Door keeps slamming on us. It's a wind tunnel tonight here in Mullica Hill. He drops back, pass, tipped and incomplete. Ashton Burgos was the intended receiver on that one. 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. But as we mentioned for Clearview, win or lose tonight, well, looking like they're going to win, it will be their first since October 26th, 2023, and the first in Mike Wilson's tenure as Clearview head coach. Right side, getting stopped that time. Whoa, a late shove and a flag. That was Jones, or rather Alan Lewis. So that's almost certainly going to be an unsportsmanlike against Pemberton for Alan Lewis getting a shove to Clearview. It is a personal foul against Pemberton. It wasn't even like an aggressive thing. It was just like, kind of an upsetting message where he shoved him and referee saw it. And to put it in a bigger picture, for Clearview, this would snap a 19-game losing streak, and it will be their first win in 741 days. 741 days. It's been a long time for Clearview. And they're about 5 minutes away from getting it done. And they're up by 3 scores. Sine, keeper, right side, goes towards the pylon, and he's in the end zone. The Clearview Pioneers are going to get called back for holding. I didn't even finish the touchdown call before that got called back. So we remain at 20-0. So a holding call.
Now, I mean, if you're Clearview, this honestly isn't the worst thing because now you can just keep killing the clock.
Yeah, I mean,
really,
absolutely.
It's an unfortunate circumstance, but take advantage of it. Just end the game while you're, right now.
If I'm Clearview and we don't get, it's 3rd and goal. That's your one problem. It's 3rd and goal from the 15.
That's
so because it's 3rd and goal, you really are kind of backed up against the wall. If I don't get it here, I send Brandon Kiss out for a field goal. See what he can do. It's the end of the season. Game doesn't matter. See if he can do that next year. Sine, keeper, left side, throws deep. One hand and tipped. It's caught. Brought it in the back corner of the end zone. Luke Gabriel, touchdown Clearview. So they got called back for holding, and now this play counts with no blemishes. 27-0 Clearview. Kiss will go out for the PAT as a 15-yard pass puts him in the end zone. Kiss got movement on the defensive line. By the way, if we got a replay, let's take a look at that real quick as they get adjusted. Yeah, just looking at this one here. Again, they got called back for holding. They're back at the 15. Sine rolls out to the left side, and he's just got so much room. Cuts to the left. He's such a mobile quarterback, especially as a freshman. The knees aren't crackling yet, but a great catch in the back of the end zone. Makes it a 4-score game. PAT is up, away, and no good. So the score remains 27-0. However, for Clearview, if they win tonight, this would be, and this is a great stat, this would be Clearview's first home shutout since September 27th, 2019. That would 2019. So let's put that in the system. September 27th, 2019. Just Googling it real quick. That's 2,231 days. So if Clearview completes the shutout, it'll be their first since they beat Paul Sixth at home 55-0 en route to a 7-3 season under Scanlon. But that would be the last time that they shut out somebody at home, 2,200 days ago.
So it'll be their first win in over 700 days.
And actually, I think that might
shutout in over 2,000 days.
I believe that is their last shutout total, if I recall. Yeah, that's not only the last home shutout. That's the last time they shut out anybody, period. It's 2019. So this is going to be a great mark for Clearview as they look to return to form. We kind of bookend our season at Clearview. Our first game was at Clearview. They lost 26-0 to Cumberland. Now they're returning the favor to another farm-heavy team in the Pemberton Hornets. Here comes the kick from Kiss. Kisses that one to the 15, 20-yard line. Returned at around the 35.
Ball comes out.
Ball out! Ball out! Clearview's got it. Ball popped out. That's 10 turnovers aplenty. Wow.
Hold on, we got a late flag.
Yeah, another late flag, but it should not affect the status of the fumble recovery. Probably some extracurriculars. But wow. A back and forth battle of turnovers, even though the scoreboard is not reflected. It's unsportsmanlike on Clearview. The call is not reciprocated for Pemberton, so no offset. And even though it looks like the fumble will stand, it'll bring them back 15 yards. Whew. We had 11 turnovers in a game between West Deptford and Paulsboro a few weeks ago. And with it being November, it's not holiday season yet, but open your advent calendars for 10 turnovers a turnin' and 9 lords a leapin'. And in this case, it's 11 Pioneers putting up 27 on the board with 4 minutes to play in regulation over the Pemberton Hornets, looking for their first win in 700 days. Rush to the left side, keeping it easy, 3-yard rush. Bartell on the carry. And a lot of hugs. Just embracing all over. You can see that one player, that's Mason Jones, who is in crutches. We mentioned before he's out for the rest of his senior season with a knee injury. Pretty much every teammate on the Clearview sideline giving him hugs. As we mentioned, Clearview, they're just starting out. And Mike Wilson, who built a program in Shalleck from the bottom up, looks to keep the commute the same to Clearview. Rolling over the middle. Might be enough for a first down. We'll see for progress. They're going to kick this one back. A couple of men down. But emerging from it at the 40-yard line. But that's the thing. Mike Wilson could very easily take a job at Lower Cape May. That job opened up this year with Lance Bailey leaving. He could have taken a job at Middle Township, where Gavin Liepe is now the head coach. He could have taken a job at Wildwood or any of the Cape Atlantic schools. Mike Wilson is a Cape May County resident and travels nearly 2 hours every day to practice with the Clearview Pioneers. I would imagine it was even more when he coached Shalleck in Upper Pittsgrove. He cares about his team, he cares about his program, and he wants to see these guys succeed. We've got a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold on Clearview. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that, like, Shalleck football was not what it was when Mike Wilson came along. He kind of had to wrestle it out of him. And he seems like he's trying to do the same with the Clearview Pioneers. 0-10 to start the season. A 19-game losing streak dating back to October of 2023. They haven't had an over 500 season since 2021, which was not that long ago. Pemberton has had to wait since 2016 for an above 500 season. 3rd and 10. Sene. It's caught. Over to the right side for number 22, Bentley Riggs. Guess what Bentley Riggs is? He's a freshman. They keep getting it done, and it moves the sticks. With 2 minutes to play, they could be just a few snaps away from victory formation for the first time in 700 days, where the freshman quarterback's knee hitting the turf of Riordan Field will be something to celebrate. As many times, visiting programs have taken their knee to the field in victory formation, but rarely have the Pioneers been given that opportunity. And at home, they're looking to do it right here. They just need a couple of more snaps to keep this thing going. The rush Forward progress keeps him up. Looks like the rush was by number 11, Sean Laverty. And now more whistles. Pemberton. I thought Pemberton called a timeout. Clock is running, though. And, Ryan, I'm really disappointed. I had a great call ready if number 44, Mason Toll, scored, thought of it, and then the touchdown didn't go to him. I was going to say, if Mason Toll scored, I would have said, Pemberton, flash your easy pass. You got to pay the toll. I wanted to say that so bad.
Nothing quite like a Dan Wilkins dad joke.
I mean, that's not really much of a dad joke. That's just a commentary on the highway. Well, I'll tell you who's going to be hitting the highway. It's going to be the Pemberton Hornets, as a bit of a premature celebration by Robertson A. You know what? He's a freshman. He gets put into this game for his first varsity start. I'd take the 15 yards. Let it happen. Clearview is standing. The student section's heading for the rails because they might just understand that Clearview football is going to win their first game in 741 days and their first home shutout in 6 years and 2 months. The Clearview Pioneers have shut out the Pemberton Hornets 27-0, and they will win one game under the Mike Wilson era in his first season. Final score, clock hits 0. Pemberton 0, Clearview 27. And Clearview is going to bucket drop, Gatorade drop Mike Wilson. They finally won a game. You feel so good for this Clearview program. Short in numbers, but not short in heart and determination. They win this one at home, 27-0. What a game for Clearview.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it came down to the team who controlled the ball more, and that was Clearview today.
Absolutely.
I mean, every
came down
drive
to clock
taken,
management too.
Every drive taken off 6. Not going to say it, but
yeah.
you know what I want to say. 6 minutes off the clock every drive. I mean,
it was
turnovers
almost
too.
Comically consistent.
Yeah.
10 turnovers, 8 of 9 drives in a row had turnovers. We saw 3 interceptions. We saw fumble recoveries. We saw everything. Actually, we saw 11 turnovers total because of the kickoff recovery that gave Clearview that drive. So they've seen a little bit of everything tonight. But, Ryan, you know, just wrapping up our discussion here before we go back and we get ready for a long weekend here on DWB. I mean, you can talk about the stats all you want. When the stats get input at NJ.com, you can talk about that all you want. But this is a personal win for Clearview. They scheduled this game knowing it was their last of the season. They don't have Thanksgiving to look forward to. They don't even have anything else really to look forward to. I'm sure there's some players on the Clearview sideline who wanted this season over, and they wanted it over quickly. Because why not? It's 0-10. You haven't won in 2 years. Some of these players that are freshmen and sophomores, if they played last year, they didn't win last year either. So Clearview coming in, new head coach, Mike Wilson, he just brought some new life into this program. And listen, you can discount me all you want for saying the Pemberton's 1-8, but individually, I saw fantastic strides from Clearview. I think that Clearview's divisional alignment, when everything gets shuffled around next year, is going to be. I think that when Clearview gets their next divisional alignment next year, it is going to be a huge boost for them. Because we don't talk about enough in the WJFL about how much divisional alignment matters. This team, if they played in a lower division, could be a 500 team. They really could. But because of the fact that you have to play these really good programs, it's just not going to happen. I think when everything gets shuffled around next year, things might be a little bit different, and Clearview might have a little bit more of a light at the end of the tunnel. But right now, when we talk about the optics of this game, Clearview came in 0-10. They hadn't won in 741 days. They hadn't had a home shutout in over 2,200 days and hadn't had a shutout, period, in 2,200 days in 6 years and 2 months. This is just a fantastic moment for Clearview, and whether or not it translates into the next season, we'll have to wait until next August to find out. But this is seemingly a good turnaround to close out the season on a high note for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and I mean, something you were saying consistently throughout the game, rush by freshman, pass by sophomore. I mean, they're a young team, and I think they have a lot to look forward to in these upcoming years.
We'll have to see, but of course, they've gone through 3 quarterbacks this season. They started out with Bennett Durkin. He wasn't on the roster tonight. Then you had Ryan Ligamiri, the sophomore, who came in. He had some passes in warm-ups, but we thought he would be the starting quarterback because he's the leading rusher, but instead Mike Wilson called upon the name of Robert Sine, and he's our player of the game. Those 2 passing touchdowns were fantastic. Interception on the ground as well. Clearview is sprinting towards, they're leaving their helmets on the field. I just feel so good for Clearview right now. Obviously feel bad for Pemberton coming on the road here, such a long distance travel to lose 27-0. And I'm sure that those Pemberton players don't feel great about the fact that, and the coaches don't feel great about the fact that they helped snap a 19-game losing streak for Clearview. I'm sure that's not sitting right in their minds. But we'll talk about the positives, and we'll say that Clearview is going to go home at least a winner to end the 2025 season. That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Thank you all for tuning in. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my producer, Ben Wilden, my color commentator, Ryan Sieber of Rowan University. I'm Dan Wilkins. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 games on Friday. Manasquan at Cinnaminson at 10 a.m., Palmyra at Pittman at 2 p.m., and St. Joe's Hamilton at Paul Sixth from